Hey everybody, Ismail Adusalam, Beats Boxing Mayhem here. I just want to take a second to thank all of my new followers that subscribed. I know a lot of you subscribed based on the videos I've been posting this past week about Shakur Stevenson and Jamel Herring. They're going to be fighting down here in Atlanta on October 23rd. A lot of us here in the boxing media in Atlanta, which isn't very big, but it's, tight knit. We're very excited to finally be getting some big fights. We've had Tank fight here twice, so we're kind of hoping this opens up, Atlanta as a big fight town. I can tell you offhand, those Vegas flights, 3.5, 4.5 hour flights get old very quick. So if we can get some big fights down here, that would be great. So I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you guys subscribing. There's going to be some new content coming in the future. I'm going to try and do some more interviews regularly. I also cover hip hop. I also write about boxing, film reviews, horror, organized crime. So head over to beatsboxingmayhem.com. You get a little bit of everything. But I did want to make a quick video about the fight, quote unquote, that happened last night between Evander Holyfield and Victor Belfort. There's been a little bit of debate amongst boxing media about what our role is as far as covering events like that. You've had some people say, hey, we're media, we cover everything, doesn't matter what it is. And other people are feeling like you have to take a stand at some point and call things what it is. From my perspective, I decided not to cover anything about it. The whole circumstances behind it was already upsetting. We already know originally it was De La Hoya and Victor Belfort, both around the same age. De La Hoya caught COVID, had to get removed. Holyfield comes in last minute. He's 58 years old. He hasn't fought in over 10 years. He's been in wars since 1986 with Dwight Muhammad Qawi. That was his first big war. And just to give you some perspective on that fight, as savage a fight that was, 15 rounds, one of the last great 15-round fights. I wasn't even in grade school at the time. And I'm not going to tell you exactly how old I am now, but let's just say 40 is not that far off. So that is a long time to be in the ring, even with that 10-year gap, and to be fighting again after not having been in the ring 10 years, having taken big punches from Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, fought at cruiserweight, heavyweight, never ducked anybody, had some bad knockouts to Riddick Bowe, James Toney. He's been through the ringer, and at this age, he should be enjoying his retirement and trying to relax and enjoy his years, as his son is actually going to be fighting down here next month on that Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring undercard. But unfortunately, we know how finances are, how things are with Holyfield. He felt he had to get back in the ring. Thought it was going to be a quick payday. But to me, the dangers of having somebody of his stature that's been through what he's been through in the ring. It doesn't matter if it was an exhibition, as people have been trying to clean it up today on Sunday. Oh, it wasn't a sanctioned fight, it was an exhibition. Exhibition or not, the punches were still real. He was still getting hit full-fledged by a younger, stronger man. And, I guess we should be thankful it only didn't even last a full round, but those were still more punches than he needed to take at his age. And at some point, I feel like media, we have to take a stand on what we're covering. I think we forget, particularly us as boxing fans, we wake up, we live the sport, we discuss it online. The majority of our online friends might be boxing people, either people we know personally or news outlets that we follow. But boxing is a niche sport. It's been a niche sport for a long time outside of big events. If you don't believe me, you can go outside, ask the average person, name me 10 active boxers right now. They'll probably look at you like you have three heads. You'll probably get Mayweather, who's not active, Pacquiao for sure, and if you're lucky, maybe Canelo. And then after that, most people are going to draw a blank. But if you ask the average person to name 10 football players or 10 basketball NBA players, even if they don't follow the sports, they probably know those people just by being in the public consciousness every day with ESPN, shows like First Take and things like that. We don't have that luxury in boxing. So when events like this happen, that are basically freak shows, people look at that as what boxing is in 2021, unfortunately. And it doesn't help when we're the ones talking about it as media and boosting it online and giving it more reach than what it needs to be. And we've all been guilty of it at some point. I think when I said that online, some people took it personal. I said it on my Twitter. A lot of people agreed, some people didn't. They DM'd me and talked to me personally about it. But we gotta take a stand at some point. Everything is not a good click. Everything is not worth hits. this does nothing for a sport to have events like this go on and be endorsed by us as media. It really doesn't. I know we're starved for big fights. We hopefully will be getting Fury and Wilder 3 soon if no other cancellations happen. We didn't get Spence and Pacquiao. So it's been a rough second half of the year, and we're very starved for any type of boxing action. But this wasn't it, guys. This was terrible. It was terrible for the sport, terrible for boxing. The only good thing that can come out of this is hopefully this is a wake-up call for everybody, and we don't see events like this in the future, because there were people who paid for it, and it's just, and I guess we're all guilty of it to a degree, because even though I didn't cover this fight or write anything about it, I did write about the initial exhibition we had with Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, and to a degree that kind of all started this roller coaster that we see now. But at some point there has to be limits. Okay, it's one thing if two guys are evenly matched, it's a friendly exhibition, there's headgear or something like that. But something like this with a guy like Holyfield should not be happening. No commission should ever sanction something like this ever again. So I just wanted to make a quick video about that. I feel like we as boxing media, we gotta call it like it is, and we have to put our foot down at some point. I know for those of you who cover boxing full time, you might feel like you don't have that luxury because you got to get as many eyeballs and hits as possible. I've been there. I've been a full-time boxing writer at one given point, years ago. That's not really feasible now. As you can see with The Athletic, that sports news reporting site, they eliminated their boxing coverage completely. So it kind of let you know where boxing stands in 2021 as far as in the mainstream consciousness. So I get it, to feel like you have to cover just everything associated with boxing. But trust me, there are going to be big fights in the future, and there's more substantial things that you can do with your time than covering events like this in the future. So let me know what you think. That's just me going off the top of my head, whether you disagree, agree. Let me know if you ordered the fight last night, if you streamed it illegally, watched it, period. I didn't watch it, period. I did see some of the clips this morning on social media, so it is what it is, but I hope we can do better as boxing going forward. But like I said, thank you for all the new subscribers, beatsboxingmayhem.com. Go there to catch up on all the latest news. I have an interview with Jay Prince dropping Monday morning, so look forward to that. We're going to be talking about, for those of you who don't know, Jay Prince is also the advisor for Shakur Stevenson, so he gives me that prediction on that fight. You also may know that he advises Drake, so we talked a little bit about the Drake-Kanye thing. He gave me a little bit of speculation about maybe a diss record coming, which I don't know if we need that or not. And then we also talked about Larry Hoover, who Kanye is endorsing, and there's some speculation about whether we can get him released, and if he does get released, what role he can possibly play in the Black Disciple, Gangster Disciple conflict that we see that's been ravaging Chicago for decades now. So thanks again. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. I'm looking forward to being a little bit more active, giving you more content. Not more so just me sitting up here just running my mouth, but more so interviews, exclusive content. So hopefully I can bring that to you guys in the future. Thanks, and make sure to subscribe and like below if you appreciate this video.